Dude, they keep telling you to try again, which is a little disappointing because it's do again or do not again. There is no try.
Yeah, I'm trying
I
to set
believe
up.
in you. I believe in you. I think that you can do exactly whatever you set your giant 10-gallon hat to.
Yeah, so that way we can start setting up stuff to get around. Oh, we're live. Yeah, I'll get
Ah,
excited.
boy.
So, what up? How is everyone doing? And welcome to our
How's
blank
everyone?
ass
There's
background.
nobody. There's nobody here yet. Oh, we're back to black? I didn't even realize.
Yeah,
We're
man, you
supposed to
gotta
be.
put.
I gotta put the picture in.
Yeah, so I could put that snazzy ass art in the background.
Oh shit. Okay, I gotta do that on my phone.
Your thumbnails get better while mine either just stay the same or get worse.
Just
So,
change the color on it a little bit. That's all.
uh, but to be fair, my Marvel Snap one I thought was good. They said, "Oh, you lured us with Baby Groot," and I'm like, "Yeah."
How's this for a woman making a sandwich?
Oh, good God! Look at this sandwich that my beautiful future wife made me. Look at that! Holy
Future
shit!
wife. Future wife.
Future wife material, right? Look at
Oh,
that. That sandwich is bigger than my face. I don't even know how I'm supposed to attempt to eat this.
uh,
You boys eating a lot without making a mess. You can do it.
Oh
so
boy.
you either have to do or do not. Don't try to eat it.
Derek, can you do one more thing and just I don't know, like something to wash this delicious
Want
sandwich?
milk?
Yeah, I want some milk. Come on.
Just ask. Where's that other cookie out here? Did you put it in the sink?
Welcome everybody. Welcome to the show where Bitchy proves how great of a future wife she is, and where we review Andor. So you guys are getting a
Yeah.
super. Yeah, so I gotta say before we start, I'm going to be ranking this higher. I don't know how my co-host feels, but I found this very great episode. It slows down, but
Great, you say.
oh yeah, great. I'm putting it with great because it slows down, but we got torture in Star Wars. Like, I don't know what the fuck so they give this eerie description of what they're using to torture Andor's girlfriend, but we're not going to say girlfriend because they're on that whole, oh, she doesn't consider him a boyfriend, even though we know they're going to hook up at the end of this or something, or she'll die. I don't know. It's not looking good for her. But
Wait, for who?
the chick there who got tortured, that was like his
Oh,
girlfriend or something. Remember, they very loosely like
yeah.
allude to that. Well, they said they recorded these creatures dying and that the sounds made the soldiers when they killed them off like wince in pain and they were in agony. So they've been using this as a torture method. And holy fucking shit. I don't know what the fuck those creatures were, but like the first dude who was like her friend, remember in the last episode that they had in the chair, he came out and looked like he had been beaten, but they didn't lay a hand on him. And that's what I like because this is realistic. Physically beaten a subject has been proven not to work. At a point, they'll just tell you anything. But if you mentally break someone, they will tell you what you need to know because they'll just be rambling. So the dude looked like he had been beaten for like 3 days, but what? They had him in there maybe a day and a half listening to whatever the fuck this was.
Mm.
They put it on the girl's head, they cut the scene, and they closed the door, and you could hear her screaming from when the dude's like walking and they do that shot and he's like walking away, and you
Yeah.
hear her this ear-piercing scream coming from her. And kudos to this actress because I thought she was all right. I wasn't really sure how I felt about her. But that look she gives the camera when they like zoom into her face and she's slowly starting to scream, that was a fucking beautiful
Yeah, it
shot.
only took, and the Chinese are going crazy right now. They're like, "Where you got so effective torture techniques? Yeah, we need those."
You're like, Disney, you know, share. We let you shoot in a concentration camp.
It's no forced labor. It's no forced labor. We want to be here. That's how you start a show.
That's you go for the old zinger, but
Wait, so now I'm gonna rip the Band-Aid off immediately, and we're gonna jump to it early. Is that your favorite scene?
I gotta tell you something, PB. Every time we do these, I think I have my favorite scene of the whole series. And somehow this show manages to do another scene that tops the last week's scene. Because remember, our other favorite scene back in what seems like forever was the ships going through that big, like, meteor shower, essentially, with lights.
Yeah.
But I'd say just because of how they frame this, and this Marvel, this is, you can still do violence. This is how you do it. They don't show you someone being tortured, but they imply enough for you in your mind to make fucked up shit going through. Because I'm watching this going, what the fuck is the sound? What is she hearing? How is it so bad that she just freaks the fuck out?
I was panicked for about 10 seconds there when I was like, are we about to hear this sound? Am I going to get tortured?
Yeah, and then they don't. What was great, and I want to give a shout out. I don't know who's doing the directing here, but what was great about
What
the
fuck
directing
does that
of
have to do with the comment?
what was great about that is that they
Wait a second. Why is that a racist accent? That's a Chinese accent.
No, because remember, Gary, your boy Gary used to do that. I gotta message him. I haven't heard from him in a while.
Cultural appropriation is appreciation.
But the thing that was most effective about this was that we don't hear it. So, like you said, we're sitting back watching this going, what the fuck is the sound? It's like that Jim Carrey thing, you want to hear the most annoying sound in the world. But picture if he did that, but we don't hear it. So we're sitting there wondering, what is this sound?
Yeah.
and you know what? You don't have to tell us what it is. See, this is good storytelling. It just fucks with your mind the whole episode, and you're going, wow, that must be some really fucked up shit the Emperor is doing, because they're not even beating people. Like, even look at how they run the prison. No one's even armed. They just shock the shit out of
those sticky rods.
I mean,
those zappy rods, or whatever you want to call them.
Yeah, the cattle prod or whatever. But like, when you
whoa. These are humans that they're zapping to death. Oh, I'm sorry. I didn't. I was supposed to carry on. I didn't realize that you were trying. Oh my god! I can't believe you said that. You went. Probably shouldn't say doing a sandwich though. It sounds.
I was trying to get that bite in between. This is a really good sandwich.
What is on the sandwich? Now I'm curious.
It's some turkey, roast beef, that cheddar, mayo, and mustard.
Fuck, that's all you need.
Yeah. It's back to the basics.
I mean, I'm not saying that I'm opposed to having vegetables on my club sandwich. I'm saying I don't need them. But if you want to put a double layer of cheese on there, as in top and bottom, excellent.
I knew you'd approve. So we get a very effective torture scene, and there's a couple.
It feels like you're torturing me right now because you ain't said hi to no one.
You want to go through and say hi? We got 7 people now.
Fuck. I was like, one of these
my sandwich.
Turn. Right. Something along like that's not what is on that coffee cup. Is that
Spider-Gwen?
Spider-Gwen? I knew you were. You're turning into a Marvel shill here, guy.
I'm playing Marvel Snap now, so it's like,
I know.
hey,
On
PB, you know about the new
multiple
Marvel Snap?
platforms. We're not.
Did you hear they get the new character?
You're not sponsored by Marvel Snap, guy.
Not yet. Not
What's
yet.
up, Lemon Pie?
But Second Dinner, the creators, did give me a heart on one of my streams.
Nice. What's
Yeah,
up, Janie? Hello, Carrie. She said, I'm an Irish leprechaun. You'd be my pot of gold at the end of the rainbow. To be sure, to be sure. I can't do Irish for shit.
Well, that's because you just don't have to draw, PB. What she was trying to say is you're her pot of gold at the end of the rainbow. She really loves you. That and the red
What's
hair.
up,
See,
Pop?
I don't got the red hair because I've got a little bit of that spick inside of me. But, you know, that's neither here nor there. Let's just get on with this great Andor stream.
Oh, yeah, we get on with Andor stream. Yeah. We do it
I gotta
now.
be honest with you. I don't like the whole communist look. I'm American here.
You mean which? It's all. It looks like it's all communism. Like the people in the military wearing uniforms. I mean, the only time you don't get a uniform is when we're dealing with the senator. And holy shit, man, why didn't I realize that she was related?
I did not realize either.
Like what? They're like, your cousin is here, and I was like, cousin.
Okay,
Cousin
so I
who?
wasn't the
And
only
then she
one.
walked on
Didn't they only
screen.
show her twice?
No, sure. I don't remember how many times I actually show her. She's like a major person in a couple episodes, but beyond that, really not too much. She walked on screen. I had to fucking double take. I was like, oh, she looks way different when she's all done up instead of looking all scruffy.
I know. When I was looking,
I
I
didn't know
didn't
who it
even
was at
realize that
first.
was the same person leading the heist and shit. And I was like, what? She's
Right? I
actually
was like,
fairly attractive.
it's like you got your hair all done up, you're wearing clean clothes, you ain't got no soot on your face. Fuck. Just
I
could
was
barely
like,
tell it's
wait,
the same person.
Andor, you let that go, man? I see why you gave her the money now, but
But of course.
And you know what I appreciate? Now this isn't a major part, but I did pick up on it. And once again, Marvel, take notes. Except for Marvel Snap, you're doing a great job. But Marvel, the movies, take notes.
How long you been playing that game?
I've played it. Okay, so here's the funny story. I played it 6 months ago in beta. I have all the cards. That's why I'm doing so many streams, because I actually got on the ground floor. I'm pretty competitive right now. I'm thinking of doing a 24-hour ladder stream where I take 24 hours to get to level 100, which is pretty fucking hard. It's like 10 games per round, and I'm at level 30. So it'll be a 24-hour stream. But yeah, I got in on the beta. I'm not gonna say how because they encourage.
No, wait. Did you? I just wanted a time, like how long ago. I don't want to know, like
I'd say it's been roughly out for about 6 months, but they just released it now. Globally.
Gotcha.
That's fair. It's on PC, so if you wanted to jump into one of my streams one day, you could go on the PC, download it, and then give funny banter while we play Marvel Snap. Just saying. Because it's not just a mobile game. It's on Steam.
I don't know if this computer's got the horsepower to handle it. Even a game that's that simple.
You can put it on 30 FPS, and you can put it on lower resolutions. It runs pretty smoothly on most devices and/or computers.
You realize I was only listening to you play the game, right?
Oh yeah.
I couldn't actually listening to all of it. I was like, "Fuck, man, this guy talked the entire time." I'm impressed.
Oh yeah. It was tough. That's why I scheduled my streams like.
But then I was listening to What, I don't know if it was the last one, because the most recent one you did on Twitch?
Yep.
So it must have been the one before that. And he kept on talking about Wong. And every time he said Wong, I laughed.
I made a deck called Big Wong. They actually let me get away with it. I've gotten so many hits on that. They're like, I love this deck because the system will take out inappropriate stuff. And I tried several different things with Wong, but certain combinations the system won't let you use. So I was like, okay, let me try this. And I put Big Wong, and it didn't get rid of the name because it won't let you finish the name. It'll stop you from clicking the check button. It'll like blur it out until you change the name. But this time I saw the green button. I was like, no way. It was like, yes. So I clicked it, and so I have my Big Wong deck. I've climbed pretty high with my Big Wong.
Got it up there pretty far, hey?
Oh, yeah. He's looking to go 100%. He's only at half right now. But yeah, it's been a lot of fun.
We sidetracked ourselves. It's fine.
It's okay because this episode, a lot happens, but really nothing moves as far as action, which is fine. Because holy shit,
There's almost zero action in this. Is there any action? Like, I thought there was going to be some action. The action was like them shoving each other in the hallway a little bit.
Well, I think the action was the tension. Remember how we talked about Game of Thrones, right? Not every episode needed a big fight, but the tension made the episode
there's a
feel
lot of tension. I
action-packed.
don't even know where the tension. So when the cousin shows up or whatever and they go back to the house, I don't even realize where the tension is coming from there because it seemed like everybody liked each other unless I was missing some passive aggressiveness.
She seemed to take jabs at the husband a bit because did you notice? And the husband seemed to take jabs when he said, "Oh, at this point, you're never going to get married." And she was like,
"Oh, yeah, all the good ones are taken.
All the good ones are taken," which I like because okay, and I wanted to focus on this. We got sidetracked with the MCU, but so this is how you do a gay storyline. She's gay with that other chick. The one that got left behind on the planet. They're in a relationship. So there's two things going. She's not married for a reason because she's into women. And she's probably keeping it because the Empire reminds me of like the old school society where it seems like they made a reference in this episode about people being almost like in India, like suited to somebody. And she is the rebel cousin because she said, fuck that. She married somebody, they died, and that she didn't remarry. Oh, no, she stated she doesn't want to remarry. But the way she did it was very clever because he goes, oh, at this rate, you're going to be too old to remarry. And she goes, well, all the good guys are taken. But she's really lesbian. She just hasn't, I guess, told anybody. Yeah, she hits on the girl who's the rebel. She goes, I want you to be fine. And they look in each other's eyes and she kind of brushes her face and they look like they're going to kiss. But then it's pretty fucking clear that they're like more than friends. So she clearly has no sense. And I like that they deal with that. Like, yeah, she liked the guy back in the day. She lost him. He died. All of these people now, PB, we can agree, like, they're all pretty much assholes who are trying to get ahead. And she's like, fuck that. I'm leading a rebellion. So you can't trust anybody you date in that society. Look at Ma. She's in a relationship where she can't tell her husband shit. Her daughter's a little cunt. So, like, they're like, she's trapped in this situation. And I think the senator scenes in this episode were far better than any of the other ones. They were very...
I actually fucking cared about her in this episode.
I did too. Did you get the feeling like I thought in this episode she was going to get caught or something? Like they played the tension really well to where, like, when she gets into her little taxi thing after seeing Skarsgård there, they get into the taxi and the driver goes, "Oh, we got to go home now." And I was like, "Oh shit, the Empire found out. They're gonna fucking ambush her at home." And then they let it sit a little bit and they go, "You're," and he goes like with the really like dour tone, "Your cousin's back." And I was like, "Oh shit!" Like that's point, because she just got back from the Senate. I thought it was gonna be like they found where the money was going and they were taking her back home and she was going to be arrested in front of her like husband or something like that. And all this shit was going to be exposed. But the show is doing a very good job right now at building this stuff around the politics where, like, at any moment, if any of these people are caught, and with the Emperor cracking down, they're not going to jail for like a year. We'll talk about that at the end of the episode. They may never fucking get out of prison. He's like arresting people and just fucking keeping them in jail.
No. Well, they are Uyghurs.
Yeah, that's true. But it's
Dude,
very
it's just like China, guy.
It's
You
very
think this is Disney taking a shot at China?
Or maybe, you know,
Like how many well-known forced labor camps are out there? Like when I say forced labor camp, you go,
Oh yeah, China. China number one. We number one.
and then I say maybe Russia, close second. Those gulags are pretty hard.
no, that's true. But people think of China first. Now what? Like it's right in a show. It makes me think about China when I was like, yeah, forced labor camp here. People getting
But
arrested
yeah,
for being a tourist.
So, like, this episode to me was not action packed as far as us seeing a lot of fighting or whatever, but it was pretty intense. The torture scenes, the shit with Andor. I thought the prison especially was getting very intense. Shout out to Andy Serkis. He made every scene and like, oh my god, like his face and everything. And then we'll talk about the ending, but I fucking love the ending too, where he's like, "Fuck it, I'll tell you how many guards there are."
I really want to see. I really want to see him and Diego Luna and more stuff. Like it doesn't necessarily have to be Star Wars.
They have such a good back and forth, and I'm gonna be so pissed if Andy Serkis dies in this, because it almost kind of seems like they want you to like him so that they can fucking kill him off like they did the rebel kid that we liked, who died in like the third fucking episode and his like second time appearing, and they had the balls in the recap to show him again, and I got salty again. So I think they do a very good job at getting you to give a shit about these people. So like when something happens to them, even if they haven't been in every episode, you're like, "Oh man, I like that guy."
Right. Like I kind of care about her family now, but I really don't care about her family specifically. Just like her relationship with her cousin.
And I care about that. It would be crushing if something happens where they find out she's been working against them. Like that would devastate everything. But because the husband seems like gung-ho about the Empire, and oddly is married to someone who does like humanitarian shit and has been talking for a while how the Empire is exercising too much power. I don't know, but opposites attract. You know, me and Bitchy are together, so weirder shit has happened. But it seems like a really weird marriage, and it almost feels like if this shit comes out, he would be so detached. He seems like the kind of person who would turn his wife in, which makes that situation more tense because she can't confide in anybody except for her cousin who's on the fucking ground. And meanwhile, she's like behind the scenes and her cousin is taking these wild risks. And it's like, hey, if you get, that was the argument in the episode, or kind of a back and forth. And it's like, hey, if you get caught, I am fucked. You're fucked. The money is fucked. We're all fucked.
I mean, that's a different kind of show if they're all getting fucked.
Yeah, then we're getting into a porn parody.
That's gonna have to be on the Hulu instead.
No, what I'm saying is she's opposite as far as our likes, our tastes and stuff. Our demeanors are different, but we work together. These two in this show are opposite, and there's tension because it seems like they may have been happy at one point, but with the state of the galaxy, instead of coming together, the husband's on this end, and she's fucking funding a rebellion against the fucking Empire. You see what I'm saying? There's the friction there is inconsolable because it's okay. Think of it like the Civil War, right? North versus South. Now, you probably had people who are friends, North and South. They go over, hang out, take a horse carriage ride all the way fuck over wherever, right? But then a war breaks out. You even had family members somewhere in the North, somewhere in the South. The fucking war broke out, though. You had people who may have been in the North, family in the South, but they fought their own brothers, sisters, cousins, whatever. And that's the kind of conflict it feels like right now. Everybody's taking sides, and it's showing that this family is split and they don't even know it because she's on the side that directly wants to overthrow the Empire. And he's like, Empire, yeah, we got all this shit because of the Empire.
Yeah.
I will give Palpatine my left nut if he asks for it. Like, don't you get that feeling like he's like...
I mean, do you want him to take your left nut or do you want him to take your soul? He's like freaking Shang Tsung.
I know. He yeah, that's a scary good analogy. But yeah, it feels like that if this came out, there would be a divide. And the daughter is already fucking annoying. But I just picture her siding with the father. Because they've even set that up where she's like, Dad gets me. Fuck you, you little cunt. It's because of your mom you got your fucking whatever. And then the cousin tried to do that thing, which I thought was cool. I gotta say, I really liked this lady. It fleshed out her character a lot, where she braided her hair like that style. Like, I like that they got that little closeness because maybe that'll bring her to the mother's side. But I feel like this is leading up to that family having a massive fucking blowout or something. Like, they're hinting so much at the bank accounts and everything. Don't you get that feeling that is going to come into play sometime? Like, they're going to track those accounts or something. And if they find them, she is going to have to get the fuck. She's in Coruscant. She's like right there. She's going to have to fucking get on transport and get the fuck out.
Fucking float over there and electrocute the ever-living shit out of her till he burns her soul out.
Yeah. Because he ain't fucking around now. He's just putting people in jail forever.
Can you imagine? Like, every time that they do this, I was like, oh, is the Emperor going to be sitting in the middle? Is the Emperor going to be sitting in the middle? Is the Emperor, like, is he going to show up in this show at any point?
I mean, that'd be a cool cameo. It wouldn't be
like
Luke.
The Mandalorian. Well, whatever. Would it? I mean, it's like a 1A.
Janie Davis says, at Mr. Zod's Phantom Zone, thanks. That was helpful. I was just about to make a Civil War analogy. Yeah, it's exactly like that. Because
I mean, let's put it this way. Do you ever have an inkling that you're like, oh, maybe we could see Han Solo? It's not going to happen. He's hanging around. He's just chilling around.
He's doing smuggling shit right now, right? He's out running Jabba right now. Jabba's got reach.
Exactly.
So he ain't going to be in Coruscant.
But we could see the Emperor. I would love to see the Emperor. That'd be epic. It's not out of the realm of possibility.
So cameos. We got a Forrest Whitaker cameo this week. Thank you for reminding
It
me.
was last week.
Was it last week? I watched them all
Did you watch
consecutively.
Like, what do you mean you watched them all consecutively?
For the review, I like to rewatch. So, like, I'll go back and rewatch the arc again because I thought this was going to be the last episode of the arc.
It is the last episode of the arc. That's what I was talking about when I said I'm right and wrong, because I was wrong in the sense that I thought it was going to be the escape from prison arc, and it's not the escape from prison arc. It's the prison life arc, because they're doing normal life in the prison. The whole time that they've been there, it's been normal life. And him getting arrested in the episode was just the lead into it. Like, it was like a long transition. So this was the prison life arc. So this arc is over, and it was over right at the end when he goes, there's 12 guards on each level, because now we're in the prison escape arc, and that's what the season finale is going to be.
And yeah, so let's get to that. Like
I don't
said,
know, they're going to be planning it for 2, and maybe they'll start it in 3, and then they'll finish it, or start it in 2, and then finish it in the 3rd episode, or the last 3 we got.
I think that the 3 will be,
Thank
that
you,
would
Carrie.
be a smart. But that leaves this senator stuff as really intriguing too, because those 3 episodes, because you know how they flash back and forward to like the prison and the senator shit. Those episodes could be about, okay, now that we got all this, those could be about maybe her home life starting to fall apart, leading into her maybe being discovered by when Andor is breaking out. You know what I'm saying? Let's talk about my new favorite character, who's become the MVP of this fucking show. Two characters, actually. the small security guy, fucking love him, hitting on a serious chick, I call her. So she's kind of made this alliance, and he's getting a little bit attached there. He's like, I like the way you're cold and calculating care. I was like, bro, that chick does not look like, she looks like she eats guys alive. Like, did you see what she did to the black dude that last episode? Like, you don't want to fucking get on this chick's bad side, but she kind of looked like she was into it, because he like grabbed her arm and he says, you care about the galaxy. And she was like, I've got to go. I was like, those two, like, look, I'm not into that whole making couples and shows or whatever, or speculating, but those two would be, one, not only the oddest fucking couple, but they work for me because they're both like very ambitious and very straightforward, willing to like stab people, and you know, they could be backstabbers together. Fuck, they could probably stab each other in the back. Who knows? But I think they would be a great couple, because security dude lives at home with his mom and he needs to move the fuck out. And
dude, who the fuck is Uncle Harlow? That's one of the few names in this show that I know, and I ain't never seen him.
I've no clue. I'm guessing that's some kind of thread we're gonna get later.
Maybe, but
he pulls a lot of strings.
I don't like his mom.
I'm mixed.
I did before, but there was something about this episode, and I was like, you're being a royal fucking cunt right now. Like, he's trying to tell you about his life. He's trying to involve you in his life, and he just asks for a modicum of privacy. You're like, you're a fucking stranger to me now, and all of the investment I put in.
And then he goes, Mom, I got promoted. And she's like, oh Uncle I'd be so proud. You want some cookies? I'll agree with you.
No, not cookies. She poured more cereal. She poured more cereal into his bowl. Like, fuck, don't pour more cereal into my bowl. I will determine when I want more cereal in my bowl.
She seems like very much like
Jewish.
Yeah. I'm thinking back because I had a Jewish friend in high school, and his mom was the same exact way. So now I'm thinking of that movie It with what's his name's mom, who was always saying he was going to get sick, and then she wanted him to go to the store to get all these medications for all these illnesses she didn't have. Yeah, this lady reminds me of her. She's very fucking weird. But yeah,
It's putting it mildly.
what did you think about how scary the fucking lady is? God, I forget her name. I'm gonna pull up a cast list
The
because I feel like
blonde
I'm doing
chick?
it. Yeah, the blonde chick. I thought I
We just
love
keep calling
her.
her the blonde chick. Don't change it now. I'm not learning her name.
I thought she was fucking fantastic. Just in general, I think she's such a good actress.
I think she's been good the entire series, but we weren't getting as much as her at the beginning as we are now.
Dude, she's fucking terrifying. She is so like she said
No, there
like
isn't time. I'll do it remotely.
like she interrogated that chick who's already been broken remotely. Like she's just so like, and the thing is they don't overdo it. You know how Disney tends to overdo the bitchiness and then try to make you feel bad for them later? They don't overdo it with her. She just is a good actress. Like there's moments where she can seem like a decent human being and then switches to cold and calculating.
Well, I mean, she is yeah, she's in there like, we're gonna torture the fuck out of you. We're gonna ask you some questions, but then when creepy white boy, I don't remember.
Oh,
his
we gotta
name
talk
either.
about him. Holy fuck.
That seems like this is the weirdest way I've ever seen anybody ever profess their like crush or love for somebody else to their face. It's like, I want what you want. I was like, what in the
Yeah,
fuck?
that's what I was talking about. I call him Mall Cop guy because he was on that
Mall
security
Cop.
for it. Yeah, that guy. Dude, I was like, but did you notice she was kind of digging it because he grabbed her arm, right?
Oh yeah, I could have you arrested. And he was
Yeah,
like, yeah,
but there was
Bring out
no
those cuffs, lady. Bring them out.
there was like that was that foreplay where she's like, it was such a weird power plays between them because she was like, I could have you arrested. And I was like, are you gonna arrest him in the bedroom? What the fuck is happening right?
You're gonna do a little heavy interrogation.
She's gonna do some enhanced interrogation.
Yeah, little blue
Dude,
pill
imagine,
enhanced interrogation.
Okay, I'm sorry, guys. We're gonna get a little lewd here, but could you imagine what that sex between the two of them would be like? Holy
Dude,
fucking shit!
Mm-mm.
That won't make it on Disney Plus. That would be some weird shit.
Yes. There would be some crazy S&M shit going on in that room.
They both.
I'm not down with the sickness.
They both strike me as repressed as fuck characters.
Oh yeah.
I could only imagine if those two hooked up, what kind of crazy fucking sex shenanigans would be going on. And guys, welcome to our Andor review. Only here will we talk about Mall Cop security guy and blonde chick having S&M sex.
S&M sex.
Because there's some there would be some fucking 50 Shades fucking Gray. What is his name? Gray. Yeah. It's been a while since I was dragged to that movie. It'd be some weird fucking 50 Shades of Gray shit going on in that movie.
I only saw the last one because I was told that it was. Oh, what the fuck? How did they put it? I don't fucking remember. I was talked into it. Oh, I was told that there was some actual action in it, and I was like, all right. She's like, yeah, there's a helicopter fucking crash. They're stuck in the wilderness, and then they skipped that whole part.
Oh yeah, biggest fucking goddamn waste of time. I was so mad that I got.
Fuck. No. I've wasted my time on bigger things like
She-Hulk.
I wasted
That was
no, I didn't finish wasting my time on that yet, and I don't think it's going to be as big a waste of time as that was, or as big a waste of time as The Happening, or
I
a
disagree.
bigger or let me finish. I'll bring you back to agreement. Or a bigger waste of time, The Last Jedi.
We both agree on that. But The Happening, come on, man. That's up for the. That
No,
is
it
one of
has
my.
no.
I
It only
watched
has
it
the only redeeming quality is the fact that it has Mark Wahlberg in it,
as a
and
science teacher. We
there
will
are
never see that
moments.
again.
There are moments where they make Mark Wahlberg boring. I was like, oh, why would you do this to me?
No. Or the best part. Hey guys, so the bees are disappearing, and
Holy
it's
shit!
really bad. Because we need the bees. I swear to God, that's how he talks. That's how he talks. I do the best impression. Watch that movie. That's exactly what he sounds like. Well, if you take the square root of 2 and you divide it by 3, then you get 2. But geologically, if there was a big
Oh my
catastrophe,
God, Janie.
it'd probably be the plants. Yeah, that's how he does it. And he talks really fucking low. And I don't understand why. It was like they put...
You muted. You muted.
It was like...
There you go.
Laughing so hard I knocked the table. It was like they had him just a mic like this and he whispered the whole fucking movie. Why? Who came up with that choice?
White guy.
Yeah, Janie Davis agrees with me.
No, Carrie said that Star Wars Battlefront 2 is 17 years old today.
Yeah, that makes us old as fuck.
Carrie, you can't delete the comment out of the StreamYard. It's in the StreamYard forever.
And then it said, Mr. Zod Phantom Zone, you nailed it. Thank you. Yeah, that's how he talked. He talked really low, super fast, and there was no fucking... And Zoe Daenerys or whatever, favorite show in the world is New Girl. But in that show, I swear to God, they gave her a
New Girl is great.
Oh, it's fabulous. So you watch this
Yeah, but
movie.
who's your favorite character in it though?
Well, I would have to say, what's his name? Who's dating the model? Why am I forgetting all this shit?
Schmidt.
Smitty.
Yeah,
I love Smith.
He's the best one. He is the best one.
He carries that show on his back.
90% of the. Have you watched The Neighborhood?
No, I haven't, but I wanted to.
He's in that show, and he plays an uber white guy.
Oh, if he's in it, I'll watch it.
Yeah, you should check it out. You gotta start at the beginning though. It's got to be on what you got. The Paramount? Is it Paramount as CBS? You hit the table again, guy.
I know. I'm sorry, fucking up my setup. Yeah, I got it, so I'll watch it.
Yeah, I would. I've fallen a little bit behind, but I feel like I watched like the first 2 seasons. Laughed my ass off.
Yeah.
And if you're laughing your ass off, you should share the stream with your friends. Or if you're not laughing your ass off, share it with your enemies. We will torture them with a sound that we don't even know what sounds like.
We don't even know what the sound is yet. So
Terrifying.
Another highlight of this episode, we found out that the Empire is euthanizing old people.
I don't know. I think, well, not necessarily old people, but people that like they're not gonna put the effort in to save.
They have,
because I have a feeling that they're probably setting the bar pretty low. They're like, you sprained your wrist, guy. You can't really make Death Star parts anymore. So
they have this guy, and so the big thing is, did this dude escape? They were wondering.
What dude escape?
The disturbance at level 29 or whatever, right? So apparently
level
2, and something happened, and they wouldn't say what the whole thing. And this is Andy Serkis's reason for not wanting to get involved. Then he finds out that the dude was basically started some shit because he found out that, check this out. So they were all told they have X amount of years in here. Come to find out, no, they're going to be stuck there for life. The Empire has no plans of letting any of them go. It's free labor. Why would you let your free labor go?
I don't know. You have to ask. The fuck's his name? Z.
Z, whatever. Yeah, and so
El Presidente of China.
and Andor called the bullshit, right? He said, and he was arguing with Andy Serkis this whole episode. They have a tussle with each other, and he says, "Wake up! They are not letting us go. We are essentially building shit for them. Why would you let your labor go? It's cheaper than paying someone." He's like, "No." He's been counting down the days he has until he's getting out. His whole thing, he's like a shift supervisor. He worked his way up. He's like, I got like 4 more years left or whatever it was. And he's like, then I'm out of here. And I don't give a fuck what happens to anybody else. And then this riot happens. So everybody's at this thing. They're with their hands up. And he knows in his mind. And this is the brilliant performance from Andy Serkis. So
they're not with their hands up. They're on program.
So he gives this brilliant speech, right? He's like, we don't know what happened. We don't know what's going on. Even if someone did die for doing something, that's none of our concern. We focus on what we got to do. But then he gives this look to the camera. Like he's starting to question it now after so long. Did you see like that look when they like start to cut away from the scene, right? And he's got this look like he doesn't believe the bullshit he's saying. Ooh, those look delicious.
Oh, they are. Taste the bubbles.
Yeah,
Have you seen Tin Man?
Yes, I have. Great. It has Malcolm McDowell. Not Malcolm McDowell.
Did you do a review?
You know what? Yeah, Janie, for you, I'll do a review because you have been here for a while. I will go find a copy today because thankfully got paid. All bills are paid. Yes, I'll find a copy of Tin Man. I could probably get it on Amazon. I'll watch it and I'll give you a full review for it. I could do spoilers because that movie was like from Sci-Fi like 8 years ago. So
it's a movie.
Yeah, it's really good. It's a modern spin on Alice in Wonderland, and like the characters are literal, but so like the Tin.
It's a modern version of Oz, not Alice in Wonderland, dickhead.
Or Oz. Well, whatever. I think.
Have you even seen it?
Yes. So the Tin Man is an actual sheriff. Get it, Tin Man? He's got that's the play on words there. They're all like, it's like.
It sounds like this sheriff doesn't have a brain.
No, he's actually pretty smart.
That's weird.
Yeah.
He's supposed to be brainless.
But yeah, getting back to Andor. So Andy Serkis is sticking with the program.
If it ain't white, it ain't right.
So
real sad.
So he's sticking with the program or whatever. But then he finds out about the euthanizing people. And at this point,
this is there's a lot of information packed into that scene.
So basically, they have a back and forth, and he's like, Andy Serkis says, "Get him a medic," but then he goes, "I can't," and he goes, "What do you mean?" He's like, he goes, "We can't," and he's like, "What the fuck do you mean we can't?" He had a stroke. And he takes the oxygen mask off, and he's like, "This is all I can do for him, and trust me, this is less painful." So God forbid they told one of those motherfuckers who are up there, who knows what they do to this poor old bastard who had a stroke, completing their work, right? So he puts something in and he ejects it, and Andy Serkis is pissed at this time, and he goes, "I want to know what happened on level 2. And this is where they dropped the bombshell. That the dude revolted because he overheard the guards talking that they were all never getting out of there. So
No. Somebody who was on level 4 and got released ended up on level 2. And word got around that he just got moved from one level to another after he was supposed to be released. And that's when they started to riot.
Yeah, so that's when they realized there is no really release. Your sentence is, and I'm trying to figure out the legality. So I'm guessing it's commuted almost. And if you live long enough to make it to fucking level 1, then what happens? By then you're too old and they just fucking off you or something. I don't know. They're playing like a shell game. So you're essentially, you really are never leaving, because they'll be just like, okay, congratulations, you graduated from level 2 to level 1, and who the
Yep.
fuck knows what's going on up in level 1? Because we've only seen level 4, and that's shit.
They're making
People don't
parts.
even got fucking flavor in their food.
Maybe everybody on level 1 has flavored food. Wouldn't that be amazing? I'm sure it's not true.
So
And why do I have a feeling that the flavoring, they're like, pinch of salt.
they don't even do the emerald, like, bam.
Bam, no bam. Just pinch of salt.
Like, so,
It comes off of the world's tiniest violin.
and this is both brilliant and crazy, because now
You mute yourself? Oh, that's dangerous.
now this takes everything that we've ever seen in Star Wars, right, and kind of reframes it. Because just think about when they were making TIE fighters and Death Star parts, there were some poor motherfuckers who got sentenced with bullshit and were in these camps building those fucking things. Because I'm sure, like me, PB, we sat back and wondered and goes, how the fuck did they build that fleet so fast?
You know, I think that you would like this candy, but then I found out it's like the Obama of candies.
No, can't do
It's
it.
like 50-50.
So PB, does that
Yeah.
change? Does that kind of change now? Like getting like these insights, does it kind of like make like this? Okay, first, this makes the Second Order seem like shit and a bunch of idiots, and this makes the Empire seem like the most brilliant and truly lethal force. Like, we knew how badass they were in Star Wars. They made a giant death ray, but we never knew how fucking maniacal they actually were. We're like now seeing on a lower level, like just down the line, because we saw it from, like, you know, Darth Vader. He's kind of like, you know, a lieutenant of the ship or whatever, and you got that old Grand Tarfmar. You know, you got those guys.
Yeah, are you drunk?
No. God, I wish I was. But no, we only saw like when they were doing shit. But this is a kind of like look into how the planet was running and how the systems were running, and it makes them even more opposing.
More imposing?
Yeah, and you put this with the prequel. This is even more fucked up because the Jedi essentially fought and died for this dictatorship to be put into place.
I mean, technically, I guess, but like some people literally fought the Empire. Shout out to Nick Fury. Marvel.
Shout out to Count Dooku. He 100% called it. Like, we thought he was the bad guy, but he already knew all this shit was coming. So that now reframes, was Dooku actually a bad guy if he was leading the Separatists to destroy the threat that was already consuming the Republic?
Everybody is a bad guy to the Empire.
That actually reframes the Separatists, because now when we look back at it, the Separatists weren't really the bad guys.
No, they weren't. That was the whole point. Nobody was the bad guy and nobody was the good guy. And lo and behold, Palpatine was in control of both.
Like, that makes Palpatine probably
fucking genius level.
Genius. He's probably one of the greatest Star Wars villains ever. He's
You mean the greatest?
yeah, actually,
Darth Vader's a hero.
yeah, he probably is the greatest villain
You
that
wanna know
we've seen in live action.
You know how I know Darth Vader's a hero?
Because he killed Palpatine at the end.
You goddamn right.
Yeah, and he saved his son. You don't get more heroic than that.
Nope.
Janie Davis says.
Han Solo wishes he was Darth Vader.
Janie Davis says, at Mr. Zod's Phantom Zone, they probably do the same thing in private prisons do on Earth. They set up traps to make parolees offend again so they can get pushed. Yeah, that's a great point. So, yeah, they could possibly release them and then be like, oh, yeah, you were jaywalking, so you get another 6 years.
No, but this was like an intentional fuck up. It wasn't like them, oh, well, you dicked around, so now you got more time on your sentence, or you started a fight, you got more time on your sentence. This guy was out, and they were like taking him to the front gate, essentially, and he went, that air smells real nice, and then they took a hard left, and he was like, ooh, are we going to the, wait a second, this is just level 2.
So,
That's
like,
terrible.
that is, and the best part about this show is that sometimes the way they make
The way they bump the table.
the way they set up the drama and make it seem they don't even have to show you the scene, just the characters realizing. And Andy Serkis, once again, shout out to Andy Serkis, fucking MVP in this episode. The way you see his face, he is like, oh, fuck you. At that point, that's when he says there's 12 guards, because he was like, motherfucker, okay, if I'm going to die, it ain't going to be in this fucking place. I'm going to fucking die trying to get the fuck out. And if Andor has a plan, and I've seen him scoping stuff out and starting to plant the seeds with these different people, and now he's got the fucking foreman on board, like you said, this is the big lead into what I assume is going to be the Russians.
Yeah, they'll really be set once he's got the 5 men on board.
Yeah, because wait, was there anybody? There was nobody else really opposing him though, except for Andy Serkis.
You said 4 men. I said 5 men.
Oh, okay, you got me.
You're welcome, chat. You're welcome, chat. That was a quality, terrible joke.
Yeah, and Janie Davis, nice Stargate. I gotta bring this up because it's a Stargate reference. She says it's sad that none of the movies or shows were ever able to stop the Empire. The rebellion is weaker than SG-1 because they defeated the Goa'uld. Very true. And I feel like they did it in less time. Like, the Goa'uld came down, they were like,
everybody.
They were like, nah, these motherfuckers are evil right away. They were like, we got to kick these motherfuckers, and then we got to go to more planets and recruit people to kick these motherfuckers out. So, yeah, this one is, the Emperor is so clever. He has got people, literally, he's got all these higher-ups cutting each other's throat and keeping them busy with that. He's got this never-ending prison system. He's clamping down. It really makes the Empire, and once again, MCU, take notes, it makes the Empire seem like the threat they should be, because at this point in the timeline, they have complete control. And now if you make a show and Andor's just fucking up the Empire and shit's going right every time, then we're sitting here talking about how terrible the show is. But it really feels like it's this little party of people that can't do nothing. And every time they get one victory, the Emperor is 10 steps ahead of them. Would you agree, Mr. PB?
I try not to agree with you. It's dangerous. Because then you'll bring up some other point. You'll be like, yeah, well, you agreed with this one, so now you agree now. And then I'll be like, I don't think that I could disagree more.
So let's go to our favorite scenes, and then we'll do final ratings and start to wrap this up because an hour is a good time. What's your favorite scene?
Oh gosh. I mean, it's really between two, so I guess I have to pick one. I'm gonna go the weird way this time. My favorite scene was the guy hitting on the blonde chick outside. They're setting
Ooh,
up their S&M date.
ooh. Hey,
Good
Christine,
morning,
what's up?
Christine.
That's my favorite because that was one of my favorites too. But as hard as it is, because I really love that scene, I'm gonna have to say the torture scene is still my
And the
favorite.
torture scene is my second favorite.
Yeah, I put that my first just because the actress, the way she doesn't
Dude, the
scream
way,
right away.
well, I
She
was
doesn't.
gonna say the lead into it too from the blonde chick. Like she was real good in this episode. In
Oh
every
my god,
scene.
yeah. It was so like ruthless. And then the weird torture guy coming in and talking about how they came up with the noise and like planting that little story. So she goes, "Oh fuck! I mean, I thought they were gonna waterboard me or beat the shit out of me. You can prepare for
Yep.
something like that."
Little
But
physical trauma.
no, they put the fucking headphones on, and then the lady says that fucked up shit and walks out. And it's just that's why I think just for JD Davis says the villain chooses torture. Stop the presses. Well, of course,
Well,
okay. I was
something to be
taking
said for
notes.
consistency.
But yeah, I'm gonna have to say just the way it's shot, the way it's framed, the way they build the scene. These writers are so talented, and Disney, can you please get them on shit they'll get recognized for? Like they should have wrote the Book of Fett. Imagine how much better that would have been with these writers. Like holy shit. And then throw
As long
Mando
as
in
he
there.
still rides a Rancor, I don't know if I care.
I mean, but let's be real though. I still give that point to the Mandalorian because it was his
No,
episode.
you're right. If
That was
Andor would have wrote it more, we would have gotten more machete.
but yeah, this is
But they
very
mixed
well
up that
written.
shit. It was amazing.
This episode was very well written. I thought the tension was pretty good. So now let's see if we're going to be in agreement again this week. Let's go to our scores and see which. Yeah, I agree with you, Carrie. She said the way the actress performed the torture scene and how they filmed that scene was amazing. Yep, that's why it's my favorite scene for this episode. And let's go to our scores out of 10. I'll start with you, PB. What are you going to give of this?
Oh, as General Zod would say, a solid number 8.
A solid 8. Oh, we might be in a disagreement for this episode for once. I'm gonna go a 9.5.
Holy shit balls.
I'm going a 9.5 because it was close to a 10, but unlike you, I think I was a little bit more generous. I took that
I would
0.5
say
off
so.
because of the action, but I thought this
You only took 0.5 off for action.
yeah, because the intrigue and the conversations for me kept me on the edge of my seat. I did this I did a 3-story arc because I thought this was going to lead into the prison break, but they, in a positive way, subverted our expectations and
No,
held
they
off on
slowed down the speed at which the show was going.
yeah,
Like,
which
they introduced him, asked him about it, and did the whole heist in 3 episodes.
yep.
Like, episode 3, he gets wherever the fuck he was going from his own little freaking thing, because that was the character intro arc. And then they did the whole heist in 3 episodes. The whole fucking thing.
And now
They
Carrie was
integrated
on
him, changed the plan, and did the heist all in 3 episodes. And now we got a bunch of extra filler, which I'm not opposed to in this show.
No, because their filler doesn't really feel like filler. It feels like building it up. And I'm so high, Carrie, because she gave it an 8, which is fair. And I understand. I totally agree. Like 8 or 9, look, this is above average scores for us considering.
No, it's only missing the action.
And for
If
you,
there
that
would
was
have
like
been-
a
if
2-point
there would have-
deduction.
Well, it's Star Wars. It's Star Wars. Like, I need some wars.
But for
Instead of
me,
just war of words. War of words does not work for me in Star Wars.
I was okay because I'm missing Game of Thrones now already. I'm like a fiend. So we don't have that political tension that we had from the Game of Thrones. So I was like, yeah, fucking 8.5. I agree with you. But now that Game of Thrones is over, this is like, this is just as good with the political intrigue. So I'm like subbed it out kind of. I was like, yeah, this is Game of Thrones level of intrigue going on over here. Solid 9.5.
Is it though?
I think it was. They built a lot of tension. There was a couple of times where I thought she was going to be discovered.
I don't know. Is this chick gonna call out Mon Mothma and be like, "You're the one, spending the money for all these parts"? She'll be like, "What do you mean I'm spending the money? All my accounts are up to date," and then the money will be in there.
Yeah, like I'm just waiting because the way they're setting it up, that's going because they've been focusing a lot on those accounts. And she even mentioned tracing the rebels' money. So that's all going to come together. And this felt like the buildup, like she's getting nervous. Her cousin comes over. She's telling her, chill the fuck out. We got to keep a low profile. And I'm waiting for the dominoes to fall. And I think they're going to parallel that with Andor's escape, which would be brilliant because it leaves. And please, God, Disney, we like this. I don't give a fuck if it's just us. We will review this. You better fucking renew this show for a second.
Every week.
We will do it weekly, just like The Mandalorian, but this show is criminally underrated. The writing is really good, and even the filler episodes give so much information, and it's so intense. And dude, we got torture in Star Wars again. When's the last time we've seen someone tortured?
Yeah,
Besides
like you said, not to mention the excellent acting.
And that's key. Like, slow episodes like this could fall apart if you don't have good. And Diego Luna, he has just won me out. I love Andor now. Diego Luna
He's on point every time.
Every time. And then him playing off of Andy Serkis is some of the best acting. That whole prison sequence was so intense. And then that final thing when the dude gets euthanized and you're just like, holy shit. And then you're sitting there going, I want to see that breakout now. This was a good, this is why it's 9.5 PB. This was a good cliffhanger. It wrapped up all the stuff we were talking about. It didn't feel like they cut it in the middle. They just sort of you got to come back for the escape now. Because they timed it perfect.
You got me hooked.
Yeah. They at the very end when he says 12 guards, that's all you need. And you go, oh shit, he's on board. Oh, now I want to see how are they going to plan it out. Are they going to be both looking at the guards rotations and stuff? And Andor already started scoping their rotations and all this shit. So it's just so brilliantly acted. And that's why I went so high, because I felt like this episode felt like, yeah, it was slow, but it set up so much stuff. And it makes me really curious what they're going to do with the next episode, because it almost feels like you could do the prison break the next episode. He was just waiting to get. Yeah, I 100% agree.
Agreed.
It feels like you could almost do that prison break the next episode, and it would make complete sense. We have all.
It's not going to move that fast. I'm telling you, the last arc is the prison break.
And we still have
one more thing. How many people are going to get killed?
Probably a ton. And if Andy Serkis dies, I'm going to be super pissed. But
yep.
Also, we have another arc going. They left this lingering, and it could come
What?
back in the last episode. Remember when Saul and the other dude were talking, and he was talking about another heist he's planning? And they're also looking for Andor to kill him. So there's still a lot of shit up in the air. Like, is he going to go and save Andor and be like, cancel the hit on him? Because that chick put out a hit on Andor to find him because he knows all the shit. So now you got a hit out on Andor. You got another heist that's in the works. Saul is in there, so we don't know if they're going to bring him back because he said no, but he kind of looked like he was interested in the deal. So, you know, his crazy ass is 50-50. So we could even have Forrest Whitaker coming back in a guest role. I mean, there's so much cool shit set up. And I was really happy with the fact that it felt like the end of the episode, but it left me wanting more.
Yeah. Like they ended up, like the way they built up that one particular episode to use the end of it as the lead into the final arc of the show, I thought was fucking perfect. Because he's like, opposed. And then they hear about this ride onto, and they're not certain of what's going on, but you know, he's got a feeling. You know, he feels some force coming over him. And then when they make it to the end and the freaking medic prisoner is like, oh, they shifted a guy and then they ride it and then they fried a bunch of people. He was like, well, that's fucking dastardly. There's 12 guards, motherfucker. We're doing it.
I was like, that was, and like I said, I was 8.5, 9. And then as soon as that stinger hit at the end, I said, fuck it, 9.5. I can't go any higher, but because like you said, no action, but this is just, that was like the perfect, like, you got to come back next week. But I didn't feel like they didn't leave me with enough episode, you know? I got a bunch of information I'm still processing. A bunch of shit happened, lots of shit to talk about and theorize in my head about.
Well, I mean, and there are no characters on this show that are similar to other characters on the show. It's not like you're watching a season of New Girl that has Coach.
Oh yeah, that was weird. It took me a while.
Is it okay? So, like, when they got to like what is it, season 5 or something like that? He's like, Coach, you remember? And I was like, no, I don't remember you at all. When the fuck were you on this show, Mr. Wayans? And then I went back and watched season 1. I was like, holy fuck, he was on the show.
Yeah, it's not
entirely forgettable. I mean, the main people in this one, granted, you know, one of them's Mon Mothma. Who are the forgettable people? Like, I don't know their names, but I know their faces.
I don't know. Imperial Guy 1 and 2, like the random people that they show me. Like the extras.
Imperial 1 and 2. You'll remember number 3, but 1 and 2, you'll never remember.
Nah. I mean, with the color scheme and everything. No, it's like all of the main actors, they all get enough time. They all get enough like different back and forths, and now you got mall cop security guy and blonde chick working together, and that just highlights their characters. Because remember, for 1 or 2 episodes there, especially during the heist, they kind of put them on the back burner, but now they're like front and center, and they got these major focuses, so they set these characters up, but they don't forget about them. And yes, how will they escape? That's the hook, right? Because he said, let's do it. We know Andor's got a plan cooking, but it's like, okay, how are they
going to plan cooking since he looked down at the floor when that guy was frying? Because he like fell out of his cell or jumped out of the cell to his death, or I don't fucking know what the deal was with that cell. That's when the wheels started turning. And then he was getting them cooking when he was like, they don't listen to anything we say. They don't listen to anything we say.
Dude, oh man, dude, Diego Luna is so like I want to see him in more shit. This guy is such a good actor, and he took literally a character that had no interest and made him the most like fleshed out character that we've gotten in a backstory.
No, you know what I would really like right now, considering that's how we used to do the reviews. I would like a post episode interview with the either writer or director or whoever, just like House of the Dragon.
Oh yeah, because I love the way that they're doing this.
Hearing their explanations of why they did the directing the way that they did gives you another perspective, in case that you don't quite see where they're coming from, or maybe you didn't make a connection. And they're like, hey, check this out. And I was like, oh, I guess you were writing it subtly, or I would have been able to make this connection. But now that you've told me, I can sit here and think about it and be like, oh, that's why everything is working out like fucking gold.
And it's so weird because they are really letting the writing speak for itself. Because even when you think you get a slow episode or boring episode, there's a what we're not used to here. There's a fucking payoff for everything in this show. You can get those 1 or 2 episodes that seem like they're not going anywhere. It didn't make sense, and then bam, you get that action. And you see the pieces all come together. This is like top tier writing, PB. This is good fucking writing.
Something dastardly is going to happen with his mom.
Oh, yeah.
We're on her full time. And I was like, you got her a bunch of Johns. That's disturbing. But at least she's having a good time.
There's just so much shit that's being set up, and I honestly can't wait to see where the show is going. And all 10 people who are watching, or anybody who might come back to this review or see this in the algorithm, I put the tags, by the way. So anybody who picks this up later, look, this show needs views. Apparently, it's one of the lower Star Wars shows, and it shouldn't be that fucking garbage Boba Fett should. This show is actually really good. And it's sad that there's these YouTubers out there who will talk shit about a bad show, but none of you motherfuckers have had anything to say at all about this show. And you want to know why? Because you're probably super secretly watching it and realizing this is a good show and you can't talk shit about it. So nobody's giving this fucking show any kind of credit. Because if this had some fucking agenda, we'd be hearing 9 videos, PB, and we know the people who do these videos.
Yeah, what's the agenda in this? Where's all the whammon power? Like, maybe this episode was only like a 2.
But
there's no women just pushing men out of the way, climbing the rank. Like, even angry blonde chick, like, she might not have any actual respect for Mall Cop, but she's got all kinds of respect for her helper, whatever the fuck that position is, who was just like Mall Cop. I was like, wait a second, this is the guy helping you, and you got at least from what I could tell, a massive amount of respect for him. Like, she's listening to what he says, and she seemed like she
that's because with Mall Cop,
she was impressed that he had already sent the doctor before she ordered it.
But that's because with Mall Cop, she's got that massive sexual tension.
Dude, it's happening.
It's out. They are so hooking up by the end of this. That would be like,
it's gonna be nice and creepy.
I can't wait. I want to see. I'm just curious to see how creepy that fucking setup is gonna be, or if she's going to play him like he's going to get some and then fucking shoot him or something. I don't know. I just want to see some kind of fucked up situation with those two, because they've got the best but the weirdest chemistry I've ever seen between 2 villainous characters.
Yeah.
Oh my god, it's
good.
Yes, I guess it's a
great
ship. I don't get into that. I consider it just natural progression of writing. These two make sense as a weird, freaky SMM couple. I mean, come on. That scene wasn't just put there by accident.
It's definitely not his first ship. He was in the
No.
Navy.
But yeah, so that's our review of Andor. Please watch the show. It's a great
Watch it
show.
twice.
Yeah.
And after you've watched it twice, you can go and watch Andor. We're the show.
And then after you watch Andor, write a letter to Disney talking about how great this show is. Write several letters and
Tell them you will be offended and sue them on Plus People grounds if they don't keep Andor going because it's an excellent view of representation.
And Bob will get right on it. He'll be like, "Oh, yeah, let's do it. 3 more seasons."
That'd be great. I don't know, maybe I need more than that. I don't know. Depends on, you can never tell how fast and slow they're going with it, because now it seems like they're going really slow. Like, how many days has he been in this prison? It's been many.
It's been a couple, yeah, because they've been looking for him. I was trying to gauge it, but the lady didn't give a time frame. But I assume they've been looking at him for a while. The people hunting him down haven't found him because, in jail. So we'll assume it's been a couple of weeks at least from when he was on that tropical beach until getting choked by KSO to, I'm sorry, the police bot. He's not KSO yet, but he will be as soon as Andy Tuda comes and voices him again. Yeah, so that's our review. Thank you very much for watching. This has been a great stream. Love talking Andor. We'll be here till the end every Wednesday, right as the episode drops, to talk about it at night, give you a full breakdown. I'm glad there's some people in the chat actually watching this show. You should. It's one of the best Disney products. And it's the one thing I have to look forward to because now Game of Thrones is off the air for the next 2 years. So, yeah, sad days for people who like riding dragons.
It'll be back eventually.
They said it'll probably take a year or so.
Yeah, I know it's going to be a while, but it'll be back. I have faith.
Oh, it's 100% coming back, but I miss my political intrigue and dragons and people being eaten. Sad times, but
very.
But anyways, join us on Friday for late night talks. I got a special little show planned, so don't be late for that one. Also on Friday in the morning, I will be streaming over on Twitch, so you could check out my Marvel snapping. And then still that morning, I'm gonna hop over to Books by Jay's stream and do a stream on writing. And then after that, I'm going to hop on my channel to do late night talks. So it's going to be a busy day. And then Sunday on Twitch, I'll be doing another Marvel Snap stream. I made a schedule, so it'll be every Friday and Sunday will be snapping with Zod. Still a work in progress. And don't miss PB and Husky.
Hi.
They do streams and videos over here. PB, you got any videos or streams planned? I know the dog randomly plays games.
Oh, yeah, he's a game player. I don't know. I got a bunch of shorts on my phone that I got to upload to YouTube, so maybe you'll see those in the very near future.
Ooh, shorts. And they're short, people. You can consume them quickly and then move on to the next one. So thank you, everybody, for watching. Make sure you share this with the verse. Get it out there to as many people as you can. I also got some exciting changes coming to my channel. I'm going to try to enable a feature. If you like the content, you can donate and help the channel grow and thrive, because YouTube's not going to help me. So I got to take matters into my own hands and create my own kind of super chat system. So I'll have that up and running. I'm working on it currently the next couple of days. I'm also doing some stuff through Twitch to set that up because, YouTube is just not going to do fucking anything. So I got to do it myself until we get monetized over here. But it is what it is. So thank you very much. You guys have a wonderful night. And as always, remember the only rule here. What is our only rule here? PB?
Oh, I don't know if we have a rule for this one. I guess the only rule here is watch more Andor.
Yeah, watch it right now. Go.